live on a nice Democratic street in Washington, D.C., and my house is 100% Democrat. My wife and 10-year-old son were not too approving of this notion, and I suspect my neighbors weren't either. But I went out and really saw a world that I didn't know of. It was a remarkable experience. I learned tons about Republicans, about the country as a whole. And that's really the source of the book. So one of the impulses for the book was the notion that we've actually become much more geographically and culturally divided than before. We have, 10 years ago there were about 1,000 landslide counties that one party or another won by 20% or more. This time around there was 2,500. Going in, I had the typical Democratic attitude, not very flattering towards Republicans, but I sat in churches. You sent me pig hunting in Texas. It was just a remarkable experience. I met people who I would never have met otherwise, who had led remarkable lives, who served their communities, who had, I think, deep thoughts about the way their communities and their government should work. And I learned a ton from them. I was at NPR for a long time, and I knew, and I still know, that the people there try to tell a balanced story. Yeah. But what I never gave credit for until this time is that they live inside a certain bubble. We all do. And it drives what stories they think are important, what sources they look to. It means that they don't tell the stories of half the country. And I think that's really what's missing. For all the issues I plunged into, climate change, poverty programs, and guns, I really learned a lot from experts I wouldn't ordinarily talk to. Yes. I talked to John Lott about guns and learned an enormous amount from him. Gun homicides in this country have gone down by over half over the last 20 years, as the number of guns in this country have gone up. We spend time talking about gun control, but we don't actually talk about the things that actually drove gun homicides down over the last 20 years. I didn't even know the term defensive gun use before this. And the Department of Justice estimates that it happens 60,000 times a year. There's a Florida State study that says about 1 million times a year. We're increasingly dividing ourselves so that one side doesn't know the other.